Fishing and Shores. This is Suzanne. I'm here to teach a mat work class that requires no equipment. However, I'll use equipment once in a while in case you have it at home, like a circle, a band, or weights. If you don't have that equipment, you'll use resistance that you create just with your body, which is totally fine. If you're new to Pilates, please listen to when I say do this at the beginner level. If you've been with me for a while in class, you can do the intermediate and advanced levels. But please consider your own safety first. Make sure that you are never straining your neck, you're never straining your back, okay? If you have a difficulty following any portion of the instruction, stop and watch, okay? Then you'll be able to do it next time. We're going to start with a simple warm-up. So Pilates is designed to activate your core, to make your spine more flexible, and overall well-being, complete body workout, okay? So we're going to start, not like we usually do if you've been in my class at Michigan Stores, with the standing series. We'll do that at the end. We're going to start with some simple stretching of the spine that everybody can do. The most important thing about Pilates, if you haven't done this before or haven't been with me for a while, remember, is to follow the principles of Pilates, which I will explain and remind you about throughout the class. Okay, so we're going to start with a simple navel to spine, our most important principle, right, which you've been practicing if you haven't missed class the last couple of weeks. When you draw your navel to your spine, you can almost imagine that your belly button is a button and that your back is the buttonhole. Okay, use this cue throughout class whenever you can think about it. It's one of your biggest ways to stay safe. Okay, when you're from this position, I want you also to think about the principle of lengthening. So make my spine as tall as possible. If your hamstrings are tight and you can't keep your spine straight like this with your legs straight, you should be bending your legs. The spine is more important. I don't want you to do this. Okay, so from this position, we're thinking about another principle of Pilates, which is breath. Okay, we use breath for the power of our moves. We use it to relax us. Inhale here, through your nose if you can remember, and then as you exhale, I want you to twist toward the right. Grow tall if you need to bend your knees, that's fine. And then come back to center. Inhale here. So you're exhaling during the twist, which is what your lungs would do anyway. Okay, inhale here. You're assisting the deeper breath, and exhale. So you've already got a couple principles of Pilates that we're thinking about: lengthening, centering, and breath. You're going to inhale here again, and you're going to exhale. In Pilates, we activate our core, and we start all movement from the core. Back to neutral, inhale, and exhale. Okay, back to neutral, and you're going to draw your navel to your spine and come to the edge of your mat. So, hopefully you're on a mat, on a soft surface. I've got a double mat here on a wood floor. You never want to hurt your spine when you're doing these exercises. So, roll in like a ball, you tuck your chin to the chest, you assume a ball-like position, and then you pull your navel to your spine to roll back, and pull it to roll up again. Okay? If you've taken my class before, you know we move about between 5 and 15 times. We're going to stick closer to 5 for this first video. Okay? Inhale as you go back, and exhale as you come up. If you can't roll up by yourself using your core, you're welcome to use your hands. Okay? Use your hands for some assistance. What I don't want you to do is throw your arms up like this, what some people do. Okay? That's dangerous. You want to stay in control. You want to imagine you're rolling on balance beat. So you're going to roll back slowly and then roll up again, right on that balance beat. Okay? I just learned a more difficult way to do this for those of you who are up for the extra challenge. Elbows to knees and hands to the ears. Roll back and roll up again. It's a lot harder. Okay? Next move I want to do is called open leg rocker. It's another roll, okay, but you bring your legs up and then we practice by stretching. We prepare by stretching one leg and then stretching the other leg. Okay? Then you straighten the legs as much as you can and you pull your navel to spine to roll back. See how I keep my chin tucked to the chest and never let my head throw back with the move. That's dangerous. We're trying to create the longest spine possible. And you'll do a couple of these and back. Okay, inhale and exhale. When it becomes hard to remember when to breathe, as a rule of thumb I always say, exhale when the move is hardest. Okay, this is a new move for, even if you've been in my class before, okay, this is called scraping the barrel. I'm going to start to roll back with a little bit of assistance with my hands, rolling through the spine. And when I get to a spot where it's kind of hard, I need to pull my navel to my spine. Try not to use the legs as much as the abs. Okay, and then I'm going to imagine that I'm scraping a barrel. My abs are the barrel. Keep the chin tucked to the chest, and I'm rolling back, activating the transverse abdominis, the deepest abdominals that we have. If your legs kick in, take a break. Okay, if you get too tired or your neck starts to hurt, take a break. Listen to yourself before me. Intuition is one of our biggest and most important cues. Okay, scraping that barrel. I'm going to switch the direction of it. Switch the direction. I'm going to bring my legs up in tabletop position and slowly roll down. Alignment is another very important principle of Pilates. We practice alignment, keeping our bodies safe and strong and in line. Alignment comes from legs, alignment comes from hips, shoulders, and arms. This exercise is called the hundreds. For those of you who know it, we count 10 sets of 10, like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 6. Okay, if your neck is bothering you at all in this move, you can bring your head down for the move and exhale. You can bring it down for the whole time, or you can try to hold your head up with your abdominal muscles and exhale. We pulse the arms, so we're beating blood and oxygen through our body, which gets our heart going, which gets us working on alignment, and exhale. Another thing I often do is just support my head with one of my hands so I can endure the move. Idea here, getting washboard abs, pushing your navel to your spine, and exhale. I'm actually counting the hundreds. For those of you who know me, I don't usually count them out very well. I just kind of figure when we're at the hundreds, but since this is a video, I'll really count. You can see the triceps, the backs of your arms are activated too when you're really pulsing. You're not just slapping your wrists like this. You're really pulsing. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, draw the knees into the chest. This is a move you can do throughout the class whenever you start to get tired. Once again, listen to your body first. Okay, next move is called the single leg stretch straight. So I'm going to walk through a classic version of Pilates, the classic mat work, without any real additions, just so you know what Pilates is. Everybody makes it their own. Okay, here's the move where I draw one leg in and the other leg out. Here's the classic hands for that move, to grasp onto the ankle of the bent leg, and the other and the shin with the opposite hand to pull that leg in. Again, head on the ground. If you're new to Pilates, your angle's not going to be as low. You're going to have the heels up a little bit higher. If I do 15 and you want to do 5, take a break. Most important thing is that you do the exercises with accuracy, precision, fluidity, grace. Okay, so this is called the single leg stretch straight. Okay, again, version with the head on the ground. You don't have to have as big a range of motion. Your abs should be burning already if you're doing this program with me and not just watching, which I assume you are. Okay, you're doing it with me, right? Here you're stretching the leg out and then you're bringing the other leg back. Okay, another option always is to support your head. If you have a block or any kind of small prop at home, you can use it like this. Okay, you can use a foam roller, anything to put your head at this position. Notice I'm not putting it underneath my neck. Okay, when I show you these variations, I'm assuming you're continuing to do the exercise. Okay, stretch the legs long, think about lengthening. Okay, now, even if you do have a block there, you're going to remove the block and bring your fingertips to the base of your skull. So here you're starting to see that fluidity, continuity from one exercise to the next is part of our rigorous mat work program. So if you don't want a rigorous program this time, don't continue, just take a little break, observe some of the exercises, come back in when you feel comfortable and rested enough. Okay, so I'm using the exhale the more fatigued I get, to keep my endurance going, to stop my ribs from lifting, to keep the lower abs deep. This is called the double leg stretch. Okay, so before we continue, okay, I'm going to stop the leg stretch series in a minute. And we're going to remind ourselves of an exercise that helps us really think about our core, strength and control. It's called the pelvic clock. So with your legs up to the ceiling, and you can bend them if that feels better, okay, you're going to think about a clock on the ceiling. So I want you to bring your big toes up to the 12 o'clock. Now I want you to roll them over to the 3 o'clock. Go down to the 6 o'clock, over to the 9 o'clock, and back up. Again, take a break if you need to. You're drawing your navel to the spine whenever you can remember. Okay, now aside from a clock on the ceiling that your legs are tracing, I want you to visualize a clock in your back. The small of your back is 12 o'clock, your right hip is 3 o'clock, your tailbone is 6 o'clock, and your left hip is 9 o'clock. Okay? That clock is going to help, both of those clocks are going to help you get more out of this program and also to do it more safely. So I'm going to roll down slowly. This is a classic Pilates move. And then up with the legs. Scoot more to the center of your screen. Up with the legs. And think about both of those clocks. This is called I'm not thinking of this. Corkscrew. Okay, 12 o'clock, 3, 6, 9, and back up. 12, 3, 6, 9. Feel it. Now turn your focus from the ceiling clock to the pelvic clock. That's what we call it. Small of the back, right hip, tailbone, left hip. So one of the things about these moves is they are harder to do than they appear. I used to work at Lifetime Fitness, and this guy would come to the door and he'd be like, "You guys look like you're flopping around like a bunch of dead fish." And I would text him, "Joe, come on in the class and try this. It's a little harder than it looks." Draw your knees into your chest. So that's a corkscrew, and that's an awesome exercise to go into anytime you want. As a matter of fact, I'd like you to show that to anyone you know who's got lower back pain. That move is wonderful, especially when you're really pressing the back in the ground. Okay, another move to go into throughout this program, if something becomes too challenging for you or you're not quite sure how to do it, is a shoulder bridge. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. In the shoulder bridge, once again, as in all moves, your chin is gently tucked to the chest. Okay, and your hands are down to the side, your feet are balanced and in line with your knees and in line with your hips and in line with your shoulders. And then I want you to peel the vertebrae one at a time. Keep all those alignment factors in play. Right, you're going to be up in the bridge, inhale here, and exhale. Another good rule of thumb for breathing is breathe when you move. And inhale when you stop, and exhale when you move. I said breathe, but I meant exhale. Okay? Exhale on the motion part. So in a move like shoulder bridge, it's good to inhale when you're stopping up the top of the bridge, and then exhale as you're moving down. Think of your inhale in Pilates as bringing you energy and strength. Think of your exhale as releasing tension and stress. So, stop at a bridge anytime you want. With your lower back pushing the ground, float your legs up. Our goal in Pilates is to use our abdominals 80% of our time and our legs 20%. I know you can't leave the legs out altogether. Okay? Another version of the double leg stretch. There's 2 more exercises in this abdominal series. Okay? So breathe through it. Try to get through them. You lift your head. Okay? And your hands come to your ankles. For these legs to be sure your heels are above the knee, not down like this. Okay? Inhale here. Then exhale. Stretch out like a big V. Sweep it in and inhale. Okay? Exhale. And sweep it in and inhale. And exhale. Again, you can support your head. If you're a beginner, remember the head can always be on the ground. You don't have to go as far into the V. Take it easy on yourself. The most important thing is that you're keeping your abs drawn to your spine. You're keeping your back on the ground. Okay? And bring your legs shoulder width apart, fingertips are at the base of the skull. And then lift your head with those fingertips. Get your elbows out of your peripheral vision. Remember, heels stay above knees, okay? Legs are shoulder width apart. This is called the crisscross. Right, I want you to twist over to one knee and straighten the other. Twist over to one knee. Now, we've seen everybody at the gym who does this calisthenic thing where they count how many times their elbows can come over to the knee. That's not what the crisscross is. Crisscross is the twist of your entire body, just like the sitting twist you did at the very beginning of class to warm up your spine. So navel pulls to spine and you're twisting. Okay? Keep those knees in line with the shoulders. All these little cues should make the moves a little bit more challenging. Inhale here. So now I'm adding a little reverse crunch. You see that? I'm lifting my bottom 5 vertebrae off the mat. Just add a little extra to the end of this leg stretch series. You should be warm by now, even sweating if you're working hard. So especially in a video and even in a class, it's up to you to do the work. I can see you and you can still cheat. Stretch your body nice and long. This is a break after the leg stretch series. If you've done it with me before, you expected it. If you haven't done Pilates before, you probably wondered when that was going to come. Notice my natural lordotic curve in this move. Okay? I'm not arching my back and I'm not pressing the back in the ground. I'm just resting in natural spine, neutral spine it's called. Okay, bring your arms forward at 45 degrees. Now if you haven't done this move before, I want you to stop that altogether and bring your hands behind your back. Tuck the chin to the chest, push your lower back into the hands to roll up and into a stretch forward. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. You can try it up to 5 times here. Now, the more advanced version of it, hands are up to 45 degrees. Tuck your chin to your chest, navel pulls to spine and roll up. I don't want you to throw your shoulders up. Come on, do a spine stretch forward. Let your head be a natural extension of the spine. Peel your spine until you're sitting up nice and straight. Helps to have a mirror so you can actually see that straightness, okay? I'm going to draw my knees in and turn towards you. If you're in a room with a mirror, it's very useful to look at your alignment in this exercise, right? So I'm looking at mine in the mirror. Your hands are down, and I'm going to lean back a little bit and lift up my legs with my abs. Okay, and imagine I have pockets in my pants, which most of us don't in our workout pants, but just imagine you do, and imagine you have a marshmallow in each of those pockets, all right? So I'm going to smoosh the left marshmallow and extend the legs. Extension is optional, okay? If it's too hard for you, smoosh the right marshmallow and extend. If you're doing this more with your legs than with your abs, take a break, okay? Or lean back even further. You can lean back, I'll show you at an angle. You can lean back on your arms like that and do it, okay? That's a little easier. Then you can relieve your legs of the work because this is core work. Core muscles are any muscles attached to the spine. Every muscle attached to the spine is considered a core muscle. So a couple of those can-cans, and then I'm going to bring my legs over to one side. This is kind of a pretzel shape of position that is challenging if your hip flexors are tight, but try to hold it. If you need to come down on your forearm, that's another option, right? In this position, I'm just going to do a little modified mermaid, which is an exercise where I bring one arm over while I exhale, and then the other arm. Try to exhale on both of these. This should be relaxing as well as invigorating. Exhale. Joseph Pilates, who developed this program, wanted you to feel energized when you left the room, not wiped out like you might after a boot camp, okay? You're supposed to be able to, it's supposed to enhance the rest of your day, as many of my clients have told me it has. Now, I want you to lean into the bottom leg, flex both of your feet, protecting the knees, lift up that leg, and then I want you to drop the foot like it's a dead weight, like it's a weight, okay? Not like it's a little helper, okay? So then, I'm going to introduce you to another core muscle that's very important to us in Pilates, and that's the gluteus medius, the very top of your buns. So while my leg is relaxed, I'm trying to use the gluteus medius to lift it. But more importantly, in the series we're about to do, you're using the side of your body, the bottom side of your body, to support any of the movement that the top side does. So it's not like I'm leaving poor leg out here all by itself to do the work. I'm leaning into the bottom leg. I'm drawing the navel to the spine. And now I'm going to start to swing this leg forward and back. And I want you to imagine you've got a glass of water on this shoulder. I don't want you to let that shoulder move at all. So I'm not scraping down here low. I'm up here pretty high. All the principles that I talked about in the beginning still apply. Navel's drawn to spine. Another one that I haven't mentioned yet is you're trying to do a Kegel. Okay, so the Kegel is the pubococcygeus muscle, which you don't have to remember, is the muscle that you use, follow me, to hold it when you have to go to the bathroom. Okay, so that's a very important part of your core muscles. When you feel that muscle and then you feel your navel pulls in the spine, those two things go together. Remember that. If you've been to my classes, you already know that. Okay, so now I'm going to press the bottom ribs in the mat. You see a lot of times in classes this kind of movement on the side, which I am super against because I want to make sure your cervical spine, the little baby vertebrae in your neck that are delicate, are in line with your thoracic spine. That's the center of your body, okay, in line with the lumbar spine. So this is important. Also, it's important to keep your torso like a square, right? So your shoulders and your hips should form a square right now, and that square shouldn't move during the entire side series. I'm starting to lift up my bottom leg. And I'm going to show you, if you've been in my class normally, you see me do a power Pilates version of the side series. I'm going to do a classic version of the side series, which I've been practicing on our little time away from each other, and I find it much harder. So I realize I've been giving ourselves a little bit of a break, but we're not going to give that break today. You'll know what I mean in a minute. We'll turn into passe, okay? So bottom leg presses into the ground. in a classic Pilates class. I'm always doing power Pilates where the bottom leg is off the ground, but that can be hard on your back. Another option, if this is too hard, is to keep that bottom leg bent. Okay? But I'm just going to show the classic version. So our objective in the side series isn't just to move our legs all around and work out our outer thigh. It is to challenge our torso stability. Okay? So try this move. 2 options for your hands. Kickstand hand out in front here, or hand behind the head. This is more advanced. Okay? Kickstand hand here. I'm pressing my bottom leg and my ribs in the mat, and I'm swinging my leg forward. Tap, tap twice, and tap, tap. Tap, tap forward, and tap, tap back. So the challenge is not moving my torso while I move my leg. So if you're doing this version of it, it's really hard. Inhale, tap, tap, and exhale. Especially the taps back are challenging, not to move your torso. Don't let that bottom knee off the ground. Tap, tap, and tap, tap. This is another one of those exercises that looks easy if you're not doing it, if you're just watching. Okay, this is called the Grand Rondinage. I've got that kickstand hand, I'm going back and forth, showing you your 2 hand options. It's a big leg circle, comes from the hip, press the bottom ribs into the mat, other hand option, other leg option, bend that leg. So this is the version we've been doing for a while, and I can't tell you how much that bent leg makes it easier. Okay, so if you need that, that's fine, but if you're up for a challenge, straighten that leg out. Okay, this is a little move like a clamshell shutting. Okay, clamshell shutting, bottom leg comes up to meet the top leg. If you feel this in your obliques, the sides of your waist, you know you're doing it right. If you feel it on the top of your glutes, you know you're doing it right. If you feel it in your inner thighs, that's also right. Or deep lower abs. And I'm going to turn it out into a big stretch. Okay, you can do that a couple times, add those 2 together. Squeeze and stretch. Okay, breathing deeply and stretch. Good, inhale here and exhale in the hard part. Okay, then bring your bottom leg forward and your top leg back. People often get this confused. Bottom forward, top back. As far as you can split them apart, okay? Focus on making sure your spine is staying straight and your torso is staying aligned, shoulders and hips. Lift and lower from here. This movement's coming from the bottom ribs and the top obliques. I guarantee you feel it in one of those spots. And the deep lower abs, drawing the navel to the spine still. That doesn't stop when you're in the side series. Lift and lower. Again, if you're tired, you're going to do fewer of these, but you can see that there are not a lot of repetitions of any exercise in Pilates. It's more about the precision. It's about the accuracy, the focus, the spinal alignment, the core control, and lengthening through the legs in this one. Again, you can do the advanced hands. Okay, then bring both of the legs forward. This one's called hot potato, and in this move, unlike the others, we're hinged right at the hips, okay? And the legs are forward at about 45 degrees. I need my hand for this one. Lift that top leg, okay, and go tap, 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 and tap, tap, tap. Another thing you can do is press that bottom leg in the ground. Always, if your back is bothering you, modify. Bottom leg on the ground for support, or bottom leg bent for even more support. Okay? So I'm rotating that top hip in the hip socket, as you can see. Right? And it really gets all those muscles in there, iliopsoas. Strong muscles in Pilates. This is the series that my daughter, who's a biker and a climber in Colorado, has such a hard time with. All the lateral moves. Funny because, you know, hiking is like up and down, skiing is up and down. Here, these lateral moves really get her. Okay, I'm sure she would love that. I shared that in a video. Okay, now we're going to come up into go over to the other side, but we're going to stop in the middle and do something called hip circles. So we did the can-can where the legs went over to the side, and now we're going to do circles. So I'm going to turn a little bit to the side so you can see what those look like. And I'm going to bring those up and circle with the abs and stop. Okay, if this is too hard for you, you're going to come down on your forearm, okay, and circle with the abs. What you don't want to do is this with the neck ever. I should even demonstrate not to do that. Okay, and little hip circles and stop. You can see that we're doing a version of the corkscrew again, right? 12, 3, 6, 9, and up. 12, 3, 6, 9, and up. And then we're going to go over to the other side. Whew. All right, set up nice and tall. arms are out, flex the feet, that same kind of pretzel shape as before, and come over to one side, and inhale here. Come back over to the other side, try to keep the ribs down. It's helpful in Pilates and in life to think about your ribs as a basket of closely knit fibers. So that basket goes all the way around your torso. These are not just the ribs are everywhere. Okay? All the way around, and then we're going to come down into that side. So we don't always do, or I rarely do, the same thing on both sides because there are many different exercises in the side series. And I don't want you to be bored, I don't want you to count. I do many of the same, but some different. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm going to push both hips forward. We did this starting the other side. Position yourself so that you're in a perfect alignment. Okay, ribs are down, pushing into the mat. As a matter of fact, think of your ribs launching the lift of that leg. Your hips are apart, they're stacked on top of each other. Okay, and I'm just pointing and flexing that foot, okay, which helps remind me of lengthening. Okay, getting in the view. Then I'm going to turn it into this passe. Okay, again, this is the Power Pilates version, bottom leg in the ground. Other option for your hands. This is more challenging. And I'm just bringing that top leg up the bottom leg as far as I can, and I get to the point where I can't go any further. I stretch it nice and long. Then I bring it behind the leg, so notice I'm dipping it in front one time and then back the other time. You don't have to do that, you can go right up the leg. Just different versions of the same exercise. So now I'm going to do a different exercise on this side, okay, with both legs lifted. And it's like you're bike riding in slow motion forward. Keep this bottom thigh off the ground, that's what makes it challenging. If it's too challenging, bring it back down. And of course, if it bothers your back, bring it back down. Using the obliques, bottom ribs, switch directions, using coordination. More advanced version with the hands. And then I'm going to lean into the bottom leg. Okay, oops, there's the easiest version, which I've been doing for a long time. Bottom leg, lean into it. Okay, that's pretty easy, right? Straighten that bottom leg, and it's not nearly as easy. Okay? I didn't mean to insult you if that was hard enough for you with the bottom leg bent. It takes a while to build up to Pilates, but it's worth it. Okay? Then I'm going to do the grand rondage on the big leg circle. Big leg circle. Navel's pulling the spine. Big leg circle. Then I'm going to turn it into, maybe I am doing almost the exact same exercises on both sides. Bring that bottom leg up to meet the top leg. Don't let this top hip slide back. That's making it easier, making less resistance. We don't want to do that in Pilates. We're trying to work at the most efficiently we can within the hour. Stretch. And stretch, kicks hand, more advanced hand. And big stretch. Now bring your bottom leg forward and your top leg back. Okay, be sure that the hips don't shift. Keep that top hip right on top of the bottom hip. Okay, kickstand hand or more advanced hands. Lift and lower. You're turning your legs out, okay, so they're not parallel to each other. They're turned out a little bit here. Hopefully you can see that on the other side. And you're feeling it in your obliques. Think about lengthening your legs. And as you lengthen them, they're forced to lift a little bit. Don't think of it as a lift. Think lengthen leads to lift. Lengthen leads to lift. Okay, bring that top leg forward. And we're going to do hot potato again. Hot potato, remember you're hinged here at the hips. Most classically you are for just this exercise. Tap, 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 and lift. Okay, or hands behind the head. Tap, 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 and lift. Or bottom leg is on the ground if it makes your back feel better. When you're working the outer thigh and the bottom ribs. Tap, 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 and lift. Tap, 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 and lift. Various versions. Tap, 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 and lift. And then straighten out again. And on this side, we'll do something a little bit different. Little tiny heel beats. They're called heel beats, but really they're coming from right here in the inner thighs and the deep lower abs. So don't make them come from your heels. Lift a little bit more. You should really be burning right here. Hopefully having fun. Hopefully burning and having fun. Hopefully your animals are all over you. That's how my clients have done this week. Every time they get on the floor, the dog or the cat's like, oh, it's playtime. This is so much fun. They're in the middle of the videos. They're taking over the screens. Okay, so you're done with the side series. The Pilates moves 360 through your body. We work the abs, we work the sides, and then we work the back. So this is a spinal flexion. This is a very important move. Okay, but we do a lot of this, especially with our upper thoracic spine, when we're on our computers and we're on our phones. Peel your spine so you're sitting nice and straight. Before we go into just the opposite of flexion, I just want to do a little reverse plank move, okay? If you can't come up into this position because it's too hard for you on your wrists or your shoulders, you don't have to, okay? But you're going to turn your legs out, okay? And hands are any direction that you want. This is one time that Joseph Pilates gives you a choice like that. Okay, you're going to lift your glutes, and you're going to look straight forward. Don't shrug the shoulders. Keep the shoulders down and the elbows soft. Okay, so from this position, I'm going to lift up the left leg, pulse it, 2, 3, and down. I'm going to lift up the right leg. You can do this not in the plank position if it's too hard for you. You can just do the leg lifts, or you can do just the planks and leave out the leg portion. Okay, so 3 options: just legs, just plank, or plank with legs. Go back the elbows. Okay, it's a challenging move. Okay, good. And into spine stretch forward one more time. Here's a common mistake in spine stretch forward, hyperextending the neck. The neck goes along with your move. Lift your hips and lift your deep lower abs. Lower your shoulders. And enjoy the stretch. You don't have to touch your toes. If you can, please do so. We'll touch even further past that. Peel your spine as you exhale. Okay, the second rotational exercise, and the last one I'm going to do just before we go into the prone position, is just like the first one we did, except it's called the saw. Okay, one thing that's changed about Pilates in the last number of years is we don't actually do a sawing action. So it looks like this. Inhale here, then exhale, twist, open up both of your hands, and use this hand to twist even deeper. Look at the hand behind you so that you're stretching that neck muscle. Back to neutral, inhale here. As you exhale, twist, twist, twist. Open up the hands. Use that opposite hand on the outside of the leg to deepen the twist. Try to keep your shoulders level in this move. Okay? One more time each side. Inhale here. And exhale. Look at the hand behind you. Inhale here. And exhale. Okay. Good. Now we're going to come into the prone position. That means face down, but it does not mean abdominals down. Okay? Just want to make sure you're still recording this. Yes. That would have been a long time not to be. All right. So without any props in the prone position, some of my clients have been doing this for a while with me with props. So I'm going to find this is more challenging. So reversing the effects of over-spinal flexion in our eyes, we're going to do some spinal extension. The first one is hands right next to the shoulders. And when you're in this position, there's some things that you need to know for safety. 3 things, and nobody ever remembers them, so I'll keep saying them. Draw the navel to the spine, squeeze the buns, and exhale when you extend your spine. All 3 are important, okay? So I'm going to come up into a modified cobra. Chin stays tucked to the chest, navel's drawn to spine, okay? So I'm stretching through my middle back, okay? We're going to do that a lot in this class, in this series of the class, right? So now I want you to bring your legs apart, Bosu in the way, and bring your arms out, okay? Tuck the chin to the chest. Now the range of motion, for those of you who have been doing this with me on a Bosu for a while, this range of motion is going to be a lot smaller. It's going to be just as effective, maybe even a little harder than the Bosu work, okay? Turn out your legs, engage your gluteus medius, draw the navel to the spine, palms are down, slide your shoulder blades down your back as if they were large eagle wings. Draw the navel to the spine. So the small motion is just lifting up the arms by sliding the shoulder blades down the back, lifting up the legs by squeezing your buns, and then come back down. Another exercise that's a lot harder than it looks when you're just watching. Exhale up and inhale down. Now I want you to imagine that you have a big belt on right now, and I just cinch that belt a couple notches tighter as you lift, and then down. Exhale on the hard part. This is the hard part. This is the rest. We're so used to exhaling to a rest, but the breathing is opposite in these exercises. Exhale to engage and inhale. You got to think about the breathing. Exhale and inhale. All right? So bring those legs parallel and the arms up overhead and turn your palms facing each other. Okay? Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Okay, there's lots of different versions of this exercise. It's called swimming, right? This one, the easiest, I extend the left arm and the right leg while keeping the right arm and left leg down. Okay, then I switch to the other side. Keep your Pilates principles intact. Navel pulse to spine, breath awareness, alignment, lengthening, focus, just to say a few, fluidity, gracefulness. So you can stay there in swimming as long as your navel's drawn to the spine, or you can join me for more advanced swimming, where the arms and legs are off the ground. So you feel this throughout your whole back in a productive way, right? Inhale, keep the chin tucked to the chest. Draw the navel to the spine. Your belly button is not pushing in the mat. Be sure of that. You're squeezing your buns. You're exhaling. You're drawing your navel to your spine. Those are your 3 factors. Okay? And when you've had enough, you're going to come back into the child's pose. Imagine that I lead you into this position by drawing a string from your belly button all the way through your back. If you're not able to put pressure on your knees like this, you can do the same move on the side. And many of you prefer this move, okay? You're rounding your back in response to the extensions that we just did. And we're going to do a couple more, okay? So this is one that we usually do on the boat suit. And you're going to find it's much more challenging just on the mat, okay? If you have a boat suit, by the way, and you know how to use it, these exercises, please feel free. You'll be right in the center of the boat suit with your belly button, all right? Actually, you'd be one running past the bullseye for this one. And I want you to drag your upper body as if it were weightless, without strength. This is done with the spine, with the muscles called the erector spinae. Exhale here. You're dragging your body. And inhale here. Okay, feel all the muscles of the back work. If you keep your shoulder blades down correctly, you're really working the rhomboids, the lats. We're not doing the 2 different versions of this exercise on the mat. It's a little bit more challenging. But you're using erector spinae muscles, the long muscles that run down either side of your spine. Okay? And exhale. And my guess is you're not using that many other times in the day when you're not doing Pilates, when you're sitting at your desk. Rather than doing a puzzle, boy, does that make your back hurt. I need to do extensions every 5 minutes. Okay, and down. Let's do one more of those. Exhale. So, good move to do if you're working on a puzzle. Coming back. Instead of child's pose this time, I'm going to come to all 4 position. Okay? If you can't be on your knees, then I suggest doing a shoulder bridge instead of this exercise. Okay? We're going to go for dropping the tailbone and drop the head. Coming up into cat. And come back to center. Inhale here. And exhale. Okay, come into cow. Lifting the chest toward the ceiling. Lifting the tailbone toward the ceiling. Keeping the navel pulled to the spine. Alright? A couple times move through those 2. And one more inhale here. And exhale here. So, for a little balance work, and if you need to put pads under your legs, under your knees, this is a good time to do so. I want you to be in all 4 positions with your hands right underneath your shoulders and your legs right underneath your hips, drawing the navel to the spine. Okay? Toes can be on the ground, and you're going to lift the left leg. Don't let that left hip shift. Keep the hips toward the floor. Don't sink your weight into the right leg. That's too challenging. Okay? If you can't be on your knees, you can do this exercise down lower, like this. Okay? So you're still using the glutes in the same way. But if you're up here, we're going to add a balance challenge to it. So you're going to extend your right arm as well. Right? Stay square now. If I had a glass of water now, I would be placing it on your back and you wouldn't be letting it move. Draw the knee in to the elbow and extend it out. Keep the chin tucked to the chest. Keep the navel drawn to the spine. Okay, and then add touching your toe over the side without looking at it. Just a body awareness. Inhale here and exhale here. You can do the opposite breathing in this exercise. We're just fluid breathing. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Your opposite leg out. Hands are anchored to the ground. Armpits are strong. That's your lats. That sounds funny to say strong armpits. Okay, and you're pulsing this leg up with the top of your glutes. It's our Pilates secret, right? Using the core muscles, initiating motion with core muscles out to the extremities instead of the other way around. Now I'm going to extend the opposite arm. Don't sink any weight into this hip. Keep it nice and balanced between all four corners. Draw the knee in and extend. Breathing just deeply and regularly. Please be aware of holding your breath. You should be aware of that. And I'm going to add this move to it. Out to the side, and then in, and then out to the side, and then in. One more time. Think about lengthening through the arms. Think about engaging the core. Okay, and you're in all fours again. All right? Good. Now, I want to do a little bit of outer thigh work, and usually we use bands, but if you don't have a band for yourself, that's okay, because we can just do it on the side instead. So this is a modification when you're in a hotel room or you're somewhere like right now where you don't have equipment, okay? We're going to just lift this up, all right? And the knee's going to lift a little bit, which is what we usually don't do in the side series. The knee's going to lift a little bit, okay? So you can do this version of it if you don't like to be on your knees, or if you're up here, you can do this version of it. So you're still trying to keep your hips from not rotating up, just the leg rotates up. Let's do it in sets of 3. Up, 2, 3, and down. Up, 2, 3, and down. Don't let the hip go with you, even the hip with the lifting leg. Keep it still. Keep it pointed toward the ground. And again, if you're doing this on your side because you can't put weight on your knees, I showed you how to do that a second ago. Lift, 2, 3, and then this time we're going to hold it up and circle. And circle. Circle. This circle is my left leg is going counterclockwise, but your right leg is going clockwise. Draw the navel to the spine. Don't lean on your side that you're not on. Circle, 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 and then hold it up and just give it a pulse for 10, 9, double pulse, it's really 20, 7, 6, 5, sorry about that, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down, okay? Lean over on that side for a minute just to get the leg to get rid of those muscles. And we're going to switch over to the other side. You don't have to spin, but I want you to be able to see me, so I'm going to spin. Okay, inhale here. Okay, lift this leg. Again, if you're over on this side, okay, and you're doing it like this, pulse, pulse, pulse. And you're mainly working the gluteus medius, or working the medius here and the abductors. And down. We go up, 2, 3, and down. Navel's draw the spine up, 2, 3, and down. Okay, up, 2, 3, and down, and up, 2, 3. Hold it, pulse it here. Navel pulse to spine, pulse. Working the top of your glutes. Okay. So I tried some videos with music. I'm not sure if this one's going to have music, but I found it kind of hard to hear. I found it for my clients, so I'm doing this without music, unless they add that Michigan Shores. Okay, feel that, keep those hips straight. Now this side is harder than the other side because the other side was supporting this side when you were doing the other side. So this one's already fatigued. Do those circles here, circles. Circles, you can feel that in the supporting leg too, right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, breathe out, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and over to that side, okay? Stretch that out. Hold that stretch for a little bit. Okay, we're gonna come up to standing. If you have light weights, you're welcome to use them at this time. If not, you don't necessarily have to have them, okay? So I'm going to bring one leg up like this, okay? Then I'm going to use the hip flexor on the other leg to lift and come up into a nice stretch. Scoop the navel to the spine. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears, right? I'm going to use this back foot, just push off with it to come up to meet the other. And then I'm going to stretch this one back too. Good. Now I want you to take that back leg, bring it up to meet the front leg. It's okay if your knees are soft, but see if you can straighten them a bit. Not locking the knees ever. If you can touch the floor with your fingertips, great. If you can touch with your knuckles, great. If you can touch with your palms. I'm often told by young classes that I'm cheating because my knees are bent. I'm not cheating, I'm protecting my knees and not blocking them. Let your head fall down. Your navel pulls up to the ceiling. All right, if you're over 40, you're going to stick your buns way back, hands here, and you're going to help yourself up. If you're under 40, you can roll up slowly like this, one vertebrae at a time. Too much weight on the spine if you're over 40. Okay, there goes my head. I'm going to come back a little bit and pick up your weights, okay? If you have light weights. Once again, if you don't have light weights, don't worry about it. You can use the resistance of your own body. I've been doing it for years. It's effective. As a matter of fact, I rarely pick up the weights. So we're doing an arm series. It's inspired by Pilates and also a little bit by Tracy Anderson, who at one point claimed to be a Pilates instructor. It's a hard arm series. And the difficulty comes from your own response, okay, to resistance. You can really cheat here, but you're not here to cheat, right? You're here to get results. So I'm using the shoulders, especially the medial deltoid. And I do a lot of circular motions because circles are better than straight lines. They get more muscles involved. Okay, I'm standing in what's called the Pilates stance. If you're familiar with this, my class, heels together, big toes 3 finger widths apart, and squeezing my inner thighs. Just all for support, all for core support. So usually I have guys in my class, and they pick up like 8-pound weights, and you're like, well, I'm going to use these little 2-pound weights. But about halfway through the program, they're putting the 8-pound weights down. So I might start easy, but it gets harder. Okay? And breathing here too. Right? So I'm doing some circles up here. I'm stabilizing from the shoulders to the elbow, and I'm just moving my forearm. And I'm giving it lift through my whole torso, as if there were a string attached to the top of your head. Okay, and switch directions. That's hard, we haven't done that one before. Switch directions, keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Okay, now bring the arms down and up like this. We're going to go out and up. So if you're doing this with Tracy Anderson, you'll be doing it for 7 minutes, and I think I'm going to do it a little bit less. So up and out, up and out. Let that make it to a classic bicep curl. Okay, people always think bicep rest, but it's not. It's bicep curl, triceps engage. So top of the arm, back of the arm. Work them both. Don't make any move not count. Make every move count. I think that's the easier way of saying that. Make every move count. Okay, circles again. Then we do an additional shoulder mobility exercise because we don't want to lose movement in our shoulders. So we keep it going at Michigan Shores. Big stretch, like I'm stretching like a dog or a cat stretches in the morning when they wake up. Okay? So bring the arms like this. So this is the move from the side. It looks like this. Up. Keeping the shoulders down. So I'm creating resistance by keeping my shoulders down. You can do this without resistance and waste your time. You create resistance. I'm just going to show you, without weights, how I can create just as much resistance. With just the power of oppositional force, we call it Pilates. Resistance. It's a fancy word for resistance. Right? Back to the arms doing this. So what my arms are doing is they're slicing up and then down. They're kind of a half circular motion and also a forward motion. So you start to really feel this in your anterior deltoid, that's the front of the shoulder. And just merely holding your arms up this long, you start to feel it at the top of the shoulder as well. Hey, you're almost done with your Pilates program. So instead of teetering out at the end and not being proud of yourself, just turn it on like there's a grand finale in Pilates. And it's an arm series, and this is the exercises we usually do at the beginning of class. So it's always useful to mix things up and see how it feels when you're doing something at the end that you're used to getting over with first. Except for going from the supine to the prone position, I never want you to mix that up. You have to have a nice, strong back. You have to be flexible. You have to be warmed up before you do those spinal extensions. Anything on your stomach. I shouldn't call it on your stomach, anything face down. Okay, so I'm working my biceps. I'm guessing as much as you are if you have 2 to 3 pound weights. Because I'm using resistance. It's a powerful tool. I learned it from Joseph Pilates. It's awesome because you can take it with you anywhere. It's not so easy to take weights with you some places. Look at that resistance. Okay, up and over. Up and over. So this should be getting hard, okay? And then I'm going to swing my arms up one side. Can you see them out of the screen? I can't back up anymore. Okay, and then I'm going to pull it down, pull it down. Pull it with conviction. Pull it with intention. Pull the air like it's a heavy shade. Pull it down. All right, now you're going to bring your arms out to the side. All right, and we're just going to use the shoulders now. You're stretching like you're stretching your body wide apart. Just shrug that one shoulder. You really feel this throughout the shoulder. Just in time for summer. Other arm. Just in time for tank tops. Okay, feel that one more time. Other side, burning, burning, burning. And other side, burning, burning shoulder. Breathe it out. Breathing will help. You want you to bring your arms forward, and then back, forward, and then back, forward, and then back. We're just going to finish with some tricep kickbacks. I like to do them from the side in this position. Navel pulls to spine. Okay, shoulders are down away from your ears, and you're going to go back. Okay, don't cheat on this one. This is your triceps. This is the back of your arms. Out and in. We really don't want to be flabby there. It's not pretty. And then the tricep is a three-headed muscle. That's why it's called the tricep. Okay. So there's three pretty parts to it. How many can you see? Legs are parallel. And hold it up there, pulse it. My arms are burning. I hope yours are. I hope you're having fun. I hope you had fun. If you're new to Pilates, a lot of it can be a little bit confusing at first. Stay with it. At least 3 classes. The principles become less overwhelming. Okay, they start to make a little bit more sense. And shake out the arms, come up safely. We always end our class with a couple of moves, one being balance. Let me get my equipment that I did use out of the way, set to the weights. Okay, so we're going to work on a little bit of balance work, okay? So I'm in the Pilates stance. Remember that's heels together, toes 3 finger widths apart. And I'm going to widen it to position number 2, basically. Second position in ballet. So I'm going to use my left foot, base of big toe, and heel, as a balance tool. If you need to hold on to something because you're working on your balance and you're a little unsure, please do. Do not fall. Grab onto a wall, a chair, and then lifting the leg with the hip flexors. These muscles right here. This is like the knee folds that we've often done in Pilates. Okay, so lifting the leg with that. You can bring your arms out for support. Fall, catch yourself. It's not that we're always going to be perfect at balancing, it's how do you catch yourself when you're about to fall. So if you want to add extra to this, you can bring that knee rotated in and then out, rotated in and then out. I'm lifting you from a string attached to your head up to the ceiling. So these moves are easy for you. You're nice and light. Okay, I'm going to turn this into balancing stick. I'm just turning to the side so you can see it. In this move, my arms are out. I'm going to lift my leg with the gluteus medius. And hold it without holding the breath. No, you need to hold the breath. Fall a little bit, everyone does. It's okay, but don't actually fall on the ground. Then the other leg. So most of us are better at balancing on our right foot. We're right-handed, we're better coordinated on the right side. I want to change that in Pilates. I want to make you equally balanced. But we have a balanced body in every way, from the musculoskeletal system, with your alignment, with your ability to balance. So I'm lifting this leg with, right here, the hip flexor, right? And then bring that knee in, bring that knee in. Okay, that's the bonus extra. You don't have to do that. You can stay here if that's too hard for you. Rotate and rotate with the hip. Rotate and rotate, okay? Now turn it into balancing stick. Also a yoga move. Joseph Pilates developed this program based on yoga, Greek training techniques, Some circus moves. He was in the circus. Some of the circus moves we didn't do today. Okay, so that's your balance work. Hopefully you're not catching your breath because you held it during the balance portion, which we always do. Just a little bit, and arms are out. So now, for the final two moves, I want you to imagine that your torso is movable and your legs and hips are not. So I want you to slide your torso, or that rib cage basket, across an imaginary counter that sits right here. Okay? So lower body stays still, and the upper body's moving, that rib cage. You feel this in the muscles of your obliques. This is great waistline exercise. Great digestive system exercise. Great exercise for these two muscles that attach to the ribs to the hips that no one ever remembers the name of. Quadratus lumborum. You don't have to remember that either, but I think about them, they're like bungee cords that attach the hips to the ribs. They're pretty useful internal muscles. So if you want to do this just for your waistline, great. If you want to do it for waist and digestive, great. If you want to do it to keep your ribs attached to your hips, I don't think that's the biggest concern, but it's important that muscle is strong. Those muscles are strong. And you're feeling it through here, right? Just a couple more. Inhale. Lengthening through the arms, lengthening through the torso. Okay? And I want you to finish off with a couple of deep breaths. Inhale here, and exhale. A little longer with the exhale. Inhale here. My arms go to the picture, and exhale. Drop the tailbone. One more time. Inhale. Power of deep breathing, and exhale. Can be so relaxing, so good for stress. I want you to exhale as you bring your left arm up overhead, and then grasp onto it with your right wrist, and stretch over to that side. Pull it. Do not bounce here. And then up, over to the other side. Exhale. We bounced in the 80s. We know we don't bounce anymore. Okay? And grasp onto that wrist and just stretch it to one side. Okay? Good. Now, walk your feet together. This is one way to do it. Heels to toe. And then end with the heels together and the toes 3 finger widths apart. Okay? I say this at the end of every one of my classes because I want people to remember it for their whole lives. Ears in line with shoulders. Shoulders down. Rib cage is a basket and it's knit together and it's pulling down towards your hips. Abs are pulling in and up within that basket. They're almost hiding in the rib cage basket. Okay? Hips are level. They're not pointing down or up. They're straight shooters. Okay? Glutes are lifted and squeezing together. Pelvic floor is lifted. So if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't really hold it, but that's the sensation, imagine that you do. Kneecaps are lifted and feet are balanced. Base of big toe, baby toe, and heel. And all those things can continue to take place, except for squeezing your thighs together, while you walk around. You can maintain that graceful form, okay? And please do. Namaste.